Have you ever wondered, why is Indiana Jones still going on? Why is this CGI sack of raisins still carrying the whip? Believe me, I've asked that question for a while now. As much as I love this character and would enjoy seeing more of him on screen, it just doesn't work in today's climate of movies for a number of reasons.
Is the mic on?
Indiana Jones is spectacular, not just because of its fun action sequences, likable characters, or outlandish spooky scenes. These movies worked as a trilogy back in the day because they had this organic feel to them that can't be done on these massive budgets with digital cameras. These movies were meant for the time period that they were shot in because they relied on practical effects, which makes them such a thrill to watch because they feel like classics. And nowadays, we've seen so many classics get absolutely destroyed by shitty modern-day sequels. Top Gun Maverick seemed to be the only one that worked, and the reason why is because it stuck to its roots while trying something new. It stayed true to its main character while using practical effects. It was a movie that took risks, and let's face it, Disney doesn't do that. I have enough to say about the evil House of Mouse that ruins franchises to sound like a cynical old man. To me, Indiana Jones ended with The Last Crusade because it was released at the right time, and if you ask me, they shouldn't have released any more after the year 2000. Star Wars worked in the 2000s for a number of reasons, but a big one is that it actually benefited from modern technology. Star Wars is able to thrive with CGI because all the things that go on in that universe kind of require it. Indiana Jones, on the other hand, was meant to feel like a classic western in a sense. It's a staple of classic 80s movies, and it's probably some of the best work of Steven Spielberg. When Raiders of the Lost Ark begins, there's this feeling of comfort because you know you're about to watch a classic. There's something about the grainy look of the film and that classic John Williams score that just gets me every time. From the first 10 minutes, you know exactly what kind of movie you're getting yourself into, and it's glorious. Sure, there's some incredibly campy moments of these movies, but honestly, I love that shit. Bring on all the cheesiness because it works for these movies, and when they try to do stuff like that today, it flops. I see how making Indiana Jones today could sound like a good idea because of how grand action movies have become, but to make a computer-generated version of Indiana Jones jumping out of a plane feels like a disgrace to the character. You can still keep the original score and bring back some old characters, but nothing can make these movies feel the way they once did. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was a disappointment for a lot of reasons. For one, Indy was old as hell, and he's even older now. And the other thing is that even in the time period that it takes place, it doesn't feel as convincing. Again, I think it's just the fact that it's shot in the 2000s, and to me, it just looks too perfect. Look, I know I didn't grow up in the 80s or anything, but I miss watching movies that have that sort of look and feel. I love movies that take their time and don't try to rush anything, because everybody has such a short attention span now that we have to watch all these movies with quick cuts, and it's really frustrating. I also couldn't get over Shia LaBeouf being his son. As much as I enjoy watching him as an actor, that was a strange call. I know a lot of other people felt that the alien scene at the end felt a little out of place, but if you ask me, it didn't really feel that off compared to all the other crazy shit that happens in the other movies. I mean, we watched a man get his face melted off. I mean, how far-fetched is this? I think it's the CGI that just really makes it not feel like Indiana Jones. Disney's use of CGI and throwbacks is one of the main reasons I don't even want to bother to see the Dial of Destiny. Even Temple of Doom, which is my least favorite of the 80s trilogy, is still way better than these modern sequels. Obviously they're not realistic, but again, they fit the time period. Yeah, it's a little dumb to see an archaeologist fighting Nazis, but it's a lot of fun. And it still makes no sense that they're making these movies with the fossil that is Harrison Ford. Han Solo and Blade Runner made sense because he didn't have to do insane stunts, but Indiana Jones practically revolves around stunts. I really feel that Indiana Jones would have maybe been better if they had just recasted, but even then, it could have been easily screwed up. I think Uncharted could have been the next modern day Indiana Jones, but, you know, Marky Mark and Spider-Man didn't really sell that one so well. I'm sure Indy will pass the torch to someone that no one gives a shit about, but at least I can rest knowing that CGI Harrison Ford won't be in the picture. It's really upsetting because I think James Mangold is a fantastic director, but when it comes to making another sequel to Indiana Jones, I think it's doomed no matter who directs. I mean, just look at the Crystal Skull. Not even Steven Spielberg could keep this thing alive. And now the character is getting groped by the greedy hands at Disney.
You just drop them pants. Drop? Just take them right off. What do you guys want?
Don't say anything, just do it.
Anyway, talking about what they've done to the character makes me sad, so I'm gonna go watch the original trilogy to clean my palate. If you see the Dial of Destiny, let me know how it is, because I'm probably not gonna see it. So, yeah. Bye.